I'm exposing the woman my partner cheated on me with. So, I, 34F, have been in a relationship with my boyfriend, 35M, for the last 7 years. Over the course of our relationship, I had always trusted him, but recently I uncovered something that completely shattered that trust. You see, he has this female friend, let's call her close female friend, 33F, and I knew they were tight. He always talked about how she gets him like no one else, and while that sometimes made me feel a little uncomfortable, I brushed it off. After all, I believed in our relationship. But now, I've discovered that this so-called friendship has gone way beyond what anyone could consider just friendly. It turns out she has been sending him explicit messages, including nudes, sexts, and even straight up begging him for sex. To make matters worse, my boyfriend has been reciprocating. He didn't just shut it down, no, he's been right there engaging with her and encouraging it. And here's the real kicker. She's married. Yes, she has a husband who has no idea any of this is happening. She and my boyfriend have stayed in hotels together, both of them lying to my face about it. They've been telling me nothing is going on, but I've known all along. I've quietly been collecting evidence, taking screenshots of everything I could find on his phone, just sitting back and watching them dig themselves deeper into their lies. At one point, I foolishly told my boyfriend that I would forgive him if he cut her out of his life completely. I thought maybe we could salvage things if he showed me he was willing to make that choice, but instead, he outright refused. He didn't even try to deny how he felt. He told me flat out that he loves her more than me. The audacity. And yet, he still wants to keep me around too. He actually thinks he can have us both. That was the moment I realized I needed to start planning my life without him in it. For now, I'm biding my time. I've let him renew the lease on the house we share, but only because I'm quietly working on getting my finances sorted. Once I have everything in place, I plan to leave him. But before I go, I'm going to expose her. The revenge part of me is holding on to that, and I'm just waiting for the right moment. Here's where it gets interesting. I know where she lives, thanks to him ordering sex toys for her on Amazon. She's currently living with her husband and his family. But there's more. She's only staying in this country because she's married to her husband. She's even told my boyfriend that she's using her husband for the visa, and once she's got what she needs, she plans to leave him and be with my boyfriend. If I tell her husband and in-laws what's been going on, I know her husband would divorce her on the spot. That would force her to leave the country for 6 months to a year, and she wouldn't be able to come back because she doesn't have the money for a visa. Her husband is the one financing everything right now, and without him, she'd be completely stuck. She'd end up having to go back to her parents in a conservative Muslim country, and let's just say they wouldn't take kindly to finding out what she's been doing behind her husband's back. It's almost ironic, though, because her dad is apparently cheating on her mom, so I guess infidelity runs in the family. Here's the thing, I wouldn't have even considered exposing her like this if she hadn't lied straight to my face. When I first confronted her, she put on this whole act. She cried, told me I made her feel like a horrible person, and swore that she'd never betray her religion or her husband like that. But then, just 3 days later, she's sleeping with my boyfriend in my bed. The absolute nerve of it. Now, I'm just trying to figure out when to pull the trigger on this. She's leaving for her home country next month on a trip that her husband paid for, and I know if I tell him the truth while she's away, he would leave her there and cancel her return flight. She'd be stranded. But if I do it now, my boyfriend would definitely know it was me who spilled the beans, and he'd leave too. And as much as I want to get rid of him, I can't afford to live in our house on my own until next year. So I'm weighing my options. Do I wait until I'm more financially stable, get everything in order, and then expose her? It would mean holding off for almost a year, but at least I wouldn't end up homeless. Or do I just go for it now and figure out the rest later? Either way, it's only a matter of time before everything comes crashing down.